to restream. So I would really like that because I'm switching off cameras, which is really awkward, but do what you got to do. TikTok's quality is better once it gets caught up. So let's start from the top here. I'm Linda K. Gifford, and you know me as an author and an IBMA awarded, Grammy-nominated songwriter. I'm a singer and a flute player. I became a neurolinguistic practitioner following over 20 years of my own various therapies and work, including drugs and counselors and therapists to understand my own CPTSD. So today I did a psyche-eval, and it was difficult. I'm still very dysregulated, so today is probably going to be a little different. But I feel the need to tell you what it's like to be dysregulated. CPTSD is not even coded for in America. Insurance companies cannot separate, doctors cannot separate PTSD from CPTSD, and that is really unfortunate because they are very different and they are very similar in some ways. But CPTSD is generally more intense and it has lifetime repercussions instead of just affecting one thing. Like a person, for instance, presented to me at the last lecture I watched was, say you are in a grocery store that gets shot up and it's a traumatic event or a war situation, of course, is what we're mostly familiar with PTSD. You maybe will develop a fear of stores. You maybe won't want to go to places. It may affect that part of your life. At the farthest extreme, you might become an agoraphobic or something. But with CPTSD, you have been exposed to a trauma for so long in your life. And if it was sexual assault, CPTSD stemming from childhood sexual assault, then like any kind of CPTSD, the C being complex, that means it happened for so long at such a young age that you always felt threatened and your neurological development becomes different. And we have made so much progress. I'm just fascinated. Once I found neurolinguistic practicing, it changed, or reprogramming for me. It changed my life. It has allowed me to be here doing what I do. And now I became one myself. And I'm really excited because my book's coming out. My CD went up. My book is on pre-order on Amazon. And my CD, A Bed for My Boots, is streaming on all services. And I'm writing for Del McCoury and Rhonda Vincent. And I've got three CDs. I'm recording 3 CDs back to back because I took a 20-year break to raise my children, 15-year break from music, except for cameoing, sitting with people. But it's time. And I've got a backlog to catch up on. So expect huge amounts of releases coming forward. But again, dysregulated. I can hardly stay on topic. Today was very upsetting. It was very helpful. I'm glad I did it. But going into a psyche-eval and being asked explicit questions about where my CPTSD stems from, my sleeping patterns, my entire life history of relationships, therapies, things I've tried, everything. Have you been suicidal? Yes, twice when I was 16 and 17. Are you depressed? No, I feel desperate all the time, though. I feel desperate need to succeed. I've never felt it was depression. I could be wrong. I never felt depressed. I've always felt frantic. I also have Asperger's, which is all over my family. And so I'm naturally wired to just get stuff done. But right now, I just feel like I'm desperate to change the world. I'm desperate to get my book out. I'm desperate, even though everything's happening, even though it's already there. I'm desperate to do my TEDx talk. I'm still memorizing it, but it's all in the cache, you know. But instead of being able to feel good about that, you know, and I'm trying to meditate and trying to say, okay, it's all on track. But my brain, because of my complex CPTSD, wired differently. And those with autism of any form, even high functioning autistics, Aspies like me, the brain, an autistic person is 7 to 10 times more likely to be victimized. An autistic child or adult is 7 to 10 times, depending on the study, more likely to be victimized because of the lack of understanding social cues. So I'd like to also say that it would be really great if we started identifying Asperger's in girls too, because mine was clearly obvious. I mean, I scored exceptionally high, if you want to call it very high on the Asperger. You know, there's like a scale of 0 to 200, 100 being like basically neurotypical, and I was at 168. And so I guess that probably added to the victimization, but it happens to so many people. And when it does, whoever you are, whether you're neurodivergent or neurotypical, when you're young, your brain, the fight or flight part gets extremely, we can measure it, thicker. The walls are thicker in someone with complex CPTSD because your brain had to protect you, and the fight or flight response is exaggerated. Lifelong repercussions are, discussing this today at my psyche-eval. I haven't slept more than 3 hours in a row ever that I can remember since childhood. I'm hypervigilant. I never knew when someone was going to climb into my bed. And towards the later years, the grooming started, and it was grooming, like I've said before, it's insidious. And I'm really found out today also how upset I am about my sister cutting me off, despite what my brother-in-law said in that post. She very clearly, in front of witness, said, I never want to speak to you again. Never speak to me again. If I'm in your book, I'm going to sue you. You never speak to my children again. Screaming, running back and forth from the porch to me, trying to get in the car and leave. And all I did was say, I had a TEDx talk coming up. And she's like, what are you doing a TEDx talk for? You know, and I'm like, I've been talking about this for years. My book, my program. And then she's like, why can't you just the hell get over it? So that's interpreted by my brother-in-law, who flat out lied and said she didn't disown me, interpreted as me bringing up an inappropriate conversation. And it's like, when is it going to be appropriate to tell someone, hey, I've got a book coming out and I'm doing a TED Talk? Why can't they be excited? Why can't they be excited? I'll tell you why, because they're ashamed. They think I'm shaming the family. And I care more about helping people to overcome the CPTSD that they have. And when we don't even have it coded for, when it's not even considered a disease or a neurological problem, I mean, all the science is there, but the laws are not. And I was recently asked, Joyce Short called me. She founded CAN, the Consent Awareness Network. She's huge. She's got like hundreds of thousands of followers, and she's going to be on my podcast. And that's why I haven't like invited anybody big. I'm lining them up, but I've got to cut my teeth and get better at this, and maybe make a proper studio. But having to dredge up all of the memories for the psyche-eval today to help them understand CPTSD better. It was hard. It was hard. So I was saying the amygdala is exaggerated. It's thickened, actually. And there's less neural connectivity between it and the hippocampus. Now, your hippocampus stores, I think I've got my hands backwards, but your hippocampus stores, it takes the memories, it processes them usually if you're not undergoing trauma. And then you have a historical record of your life. And you'll find with a lot of people who were sexually assaulted in childhood or suffered other extreme forms of CPTSD, you know, poverty, war, etc., that they also have a lack of less neural connectivity between the amygdala, the fight or flight fear, where your body memory is stored, and the hippocampus, because as a child, you have a growing brain and your brain protects you. Your brain protects you by teaching you to dissociate. It dissociates. It's not going to allow you to process. So you've got swimming around in this thickened amygdala as an adult. And as I said before, scans show it now. Across the board, if you have CPTSD, the amygdala is thicker, proving that it has had an actual physiological impact. Also, the neural connectivity is, again, seen. This is not somebody's hypothesis anymore. So the laws need to catch up. And so what happens, this lack of neural connectivity means that your brain, your hippocampus does not want to process this because you've got to go get good grades. You've got to go to church. You've got to sing in the choir. You've got to do everything. You have to associate with your assailant, with your sexual assailant. You learn to separate. And because the grooming part that nobody understands, I just get so pissed off, frankly. Why didn't you tell? Why didn't you tell? Oh. And now I am going before the Missouri State Legislature to explain to them why I and all of us don't tell. It's because you don't want us to. I said my own sister just disowned me. Whatever she's saying, whatever lies they're telling, clearly screaming it on the street. All the way out the door, from the back porch, through the house, out the street, screaming. And I'm like, and they're drinking. God, her and my brother-in-law, they just drink every night out to bars. It's like, and then they said I had 8 glasses of alcohol. Actually, I think there were 4 total. Copious amounts of marijuana. Yes. That night, I was trying to get her to smoke some to really do her some good. And my sister is the nicest person I ever met in a lot of ways. So I don't understand. I don't understand, and it hurts me. And I really realized this today at the psyche-eval. I mean, I have felt a lot of pain since this happened. And my son's getting married at a beautiful destination, kilted wedding. And I thought they were coming, you know, and now I don't want them to unless they can apologize, unless they can accept what I'm doing and respect me for it. God, I have a headache. Sorry, I have wet hair and it's going to be a freaking mess. And I'm going to color it tomorrow, but my hair grows so fast, I only get like 3 weeks out of color. So why? Why can't they respect me? Why can't they say, yay, you figured out this thing, this problem you have, and you've turned it into something to help people. Yay, you have a book coming out with the largest publisher of self-help books in the world. Yay, you're going to be on Good Morning America and in a publicity summit that's going to book you. Yay, you have a TEDx talk coming up. Why is this not able to be a healthy topic of conversation? Because I'm told it's inappropriate. That's what my brother-in-law put in the post. You can all go read it. You know, those of you who know me, and I know a lot of you do, because I have an exceptionally large number of followers from Hermann, Missouri, my hometown. And some of them don't like me because they think that I should shut up because my nieces and nephews, my great nieces and nephews, are going to be affected by this. And I'm like, I adhere to, if you don't want to be talked badly about, then you shouldn't do bad things. You know, I don't want him to die, although he is dying of cancer. I know that he was set up by society as well to become the predator he was. I know it wasn't just me. It was me as a little child, but I know that he dated teenagers forever, like brought a virtual teenager, somebody barely in their 20s at the most, to his own daughter's high school graduation. This person has issues. And the issues come from society. And I am trying to do something about that. And I'm very proud of myself. I'm proud of myself. I'm really weird today. I'm sorry. I just had a psyche-eval if you're tuning in late. And a cPTSD specific psyche-eval. Oh. Close. Sorry. I had pause. I forgot to plug in. That's how dysregulated today. I didn't even plug in. Hang on. I'm going to go steal my phone charger and plug the iPad in before I lose it. Okay. Yeah, kind of necessary thing here. Plug in. Oh, my hair is a fright. It's a fright. It's always a fright. I'm rocking the Neanderthal for sure. Where is the dealie? There we go. Okay, I got a good shot of my grays. And I think I've got a headband here also. So, get back on track. cPTSD. The deal is, it's real. It's devastating and it's lifelong. But we have now learned, which is why I am a neurolinguistic practitioner and why my sister should be proud of me. We have learned that we can reprogram. We can take the jumbled up memories that are still swimming around in our hippocampus or in our amygdala, and we can process them. And the way to do it isn't with drugs. I tried several antidepressants and things early on. They deaden you. They may make you cope a little better, but do you want to go through life just coping without a libido, without your joys? I love my highs and I'll take my lows for my highs. So I had to learn, and I did learn, how to reprogram the memories for the most part. I'm still triggered. I still have triggers, but they don't send me into altars anymore. I have 3 altars. I had 3 altars, I should say. I met a little girl when I was 36 in therapy. I didn't even know. I mean, it came up in marital counseling. And then she cut off my ex and said he was a pathological liar and consulted notes to prove it to me. And then we proceeded with, she said, I think you need childhood sexual assault counseling. And in talking, I really came to realize that what I had thought was a dirty, horrible thing I had been a participant in. She's like, it started when you were 10. You didn't have a choice. And I learned that that's true. That's true. And once I realized that I was groomed into it, I understood why I didn't tell. That hurts too. I have a headache. Sorry. I'm just going to have crazy hair today. It's so important to me that I get this message out that you can get better. And while Western medicine is, I use it plenty, a lot lately. It's not the answer to overcoming complex PTSD, nor is talk therapy, because talk therapy just brings up the triggers. While you do need to get it out, the way to do it safely and with the least trauma and avoid going from therapist to therapist. Because what you do, you go to a therapist, you talk it all out, they give you drugs, you don't feel better, it doesn't work, you get a new therapist, you talk it all out, they give you drugs, different drug, doesn't feel better, or you go to the same therapist and they give you another drug, then you go to the same. I know someone who's been going to the same therapist for years and isn't getting any better. And her parents are like, glad she's still going to the same doctor. And I'm like, the doctor isn't helping her. This drug changed, check my moods all day long. They're keeping her hyper focused on her emotions instead of actually learning to cope with them. So what I want to do for you, and someday for her, I hope, is teach you that learning to process your emotions and learning to accept when the triggers come. If you try to swallow them down into your gut and heart, it just perpetuates. But that being said, if you like just go crazy, have a full-on cPTSD, jumping down the rabbit hole, freak out, cry, screaming event, which actually feels wonderful at the moment, because when you're triggered, you're in so much body memory that it feels like it's actually happening. It's like a video playing, but it feels real, it smells real, it tastes real. And in my case, tastes and smells are really a big part of it. Like I can smell someone on cocaine across a room because of having to deal with the cocaine sweat of my assailant. Certain soaps, certain drinks, and you just never know. You might just be opening the refrigerator and something triggers you. And so those are very painful, but you learn what I was saying. It feels good to go crazy in that moment because it's a release from the other pain. It's a substitution. It's a transference of pain. So what you need to do, and you can do, and I can teach you, and a lot of people can teach you. I'm not saying I'm so special, but what worked for me, and it's working for the people that I work with, is in a peaceful place and supervised if necessary by somebody who understands what you're doing. Cognitive behavioral therapy, where instead of talking, you are writing or drawing your experience. I did that first, and it was very painful because that's how I realized that I was victimized so badly. Because I drew pictures of him working on the car, smiling and waving at me, smiling, and then next memory, drew a picture of us sitting at the table, and there's a bottle of grape juice and a bottle of gin on it, and grape juice and gin. It's in my song Little Girl. Grape juice and gin, kitty cocktails again. Watch the pretty little doll's head spin. Perverted lies. He blamed her eyes and took her through her strangled cries, and now she can't stop the voice in her head that says that I might be better off dead. She can't stop the voice in her head that says I might be better off dead. Anyway, I'm putting the whole CD up for free, actually. I have to load 2 more songs that I accidentally bumped. I was editing it to free today, and edit and delete are like right next to each other, or share and delete. So I deleted Little Girl and I got to add them back into the CD, a big dumbass. But that was right before the psyche-eval. But yeah, so then there's grape juice and gin was that picture. And I'm like, I shouldn't have been drinking, And then there's pictures in the truck and what he was doing and what he was making me do. And it was like, my God. Once you get older and you have children of your own, or people with children of that age, I mean, that's what it really hit me. My friend Julie, his daughters, they were like 9 and 11, and they were out on our farm helping out in the garden with me. And I just had a moment where I was looking at them and I was like, that's how old I was. And I love those girls. And I realized that there was nothing I could have done, whether I told or kicked or screamed or not decided, but just grew different neural connectivity and went into alters to handle it. Little girl and rage and busy are my alters. It became clear, and I became very sad. And then I became very determined to stop this bullshit. So if my sister can't get on board that I need to stop this bullshit, if she can't understand my pain and thinks I should just get the hell over it, then I'm sorry for her. But I'm not embarrassed for me anymore. It took me a couple of years to make the decision to fess up life. And it took me another couple of years to realize it's not a confession to tell the truth. It's not a confession when you're not guilty. And I'm tired of us calling it our stories of sexual assault. It's a reality. And I'm tired of everybody calling sexual abuse. It's assault. Why do you call it abuse? What do you think that does in the minds of people in the courts? Why do you think I'm going before the Missouri legislature to try to convince them to lift the statute of limitations? Why do you think I'm doing a TEDx talk? This stuff hurts. This isn't me being a media whore. This is me using the channels I have to try to make a difference in the world. And because I'm severely dysregulated after all this, I think I'm going to go here today. But I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe at Sweet Survivor, sweetsurvivor.com and thosenastywomen.com. Go to the same place. The sweetshoppinggroup.com. Also there, that all supports Sweet. I don't make a penny off of anything except to keep the lights on here. And that reminds me, I am going to give away jewelry from my store. So the first subscribers, it's a new subscription, new thing. And so my mall store was a 10,000 Villages affiliate before the pandemic. The owner and his wife, who were family friends and had 12 daughters, they passed away of COVID December and January of 2021. So I morphed into Sweet. I started writing my book, and I developed my workshop, and I got immediate 3 university professors asked to use it for required reading on my first post on Facebook of the first 7 chapters that I wrote off the top of my head in 2 days. A day, probably revised the next, maybe a little. And so we're going places, but we need you. We need your $5 because we started the Sweet Hero Action Teams. Me, myself, and I. But I need you on board. And what we do, I actually carry, we're allowed, and I am not afraid to rescue somebody and to get them. That's like not a problem. I train regularly. I hit 100-yard targets with my AR now with no scope. Of course, the sight gives you a little bit, but at 100 yards with no scope, I'm saying I can get a girl out of a house or a boy. These earrings, I'll tell you what, first person that subscribes can just choose. Here's what I'm going to be giving away to subscribers, okay, this round. And TikTok's got a competition going, and it's not like I'm going to win a competition being brand new, but it sure would be nice to get some up to 10,000 followers out of it. Okay, 10,000 villages. Are these gorgeous or what? And it says, in communities where government services are unavailable, Terra Projects trains adults in craft making and helps develop schools and health services. So all of my products come from women, family, and community artists and entrepreneurs, and those rescuing people from poverty and sex work, giving them alternatives to sex work, or rescuing them from them and teaching them a trade. This is CFN Market Linkages, and they help craftspeople develop skills and earn fair wages to support their families. And these are the spun web earrings. Spun web earrings. And these are the skyscraper earrings, handcrafted in India by women who are no longer having to work on their backs. So I'd really appreciate your support. I'm also giving away to the non-jewelry people. It's mostly jewelry stuff. This is a keychain, and it is from Serve. Serve is a great a company. You see them, a lot of people in churches. Churches often sell Serve products. And they'll have, they get products from all over the world, and it's just a great way to give back. So when you buy jewelry from Sweet Shopping Group, or bags or home stuff, there's all kinds of stuff there, then you're not only supporting Sweet Survivor, but you're supporting the women and family and communities of artisans, and you're supporting women getting out of sex work. So please do that thing. But right now I'm giving it away. I'm giving it away. This is, I love this. This is the glass tiara necklace, and it lays beautifully when you wear it. It's a choker. So whoever subscribes is going to first come, first serve. And we contact you immediately. You get these. Of course, you have to say subscribe for 3 months, because I'm not stupid. And this, that still won't cover the cost of most of these each, but I just want to know you're really in it to help us, not just to get the jewelry. Okay, jungle green necklace. I love this. These are Toggen nut beads, and it's in a rose gold treatment. And straighten that one out, but I'm not even holding it right. Hang on, it's really pretty when I get it organized. But is that not cool? These are made from sustainable Toggen nuts, harvested in the Ecuadorian lowlands. And it's called vegetable ivory too, because it soaks up color all the way through somehow, but remains as hard as ivory. And it's wonderful. It says this is, again, 10,000 villages in communities where government services are unavailable. TARA projects trains adults in craft making and helps to develop schools and health services. So this or this, you got $5 for 3 months. The first, I don't know how many pieces I brought here, but I'm going to give all of these away. Well, one each to whoever should subscribe at sweetsurvivor.com. I'll put it in the comments when I hang up. I'm old. Disconnect, not go live, whatever it's called. So what else we got here? I think I had, oh yeah, this one's really cool. This is if you're in the craftsy stuff, this is called the Bar None necklace, and treat it kindly, because these are they take recycled wood and thread. I've got it hanging sideways on the card. Hang on, I gotta put all these down. Sort this out. I love this. It just looks really good. It's got black and white and tan and brown, so I find it super useful. I own everything I'm showing you. Everything. I own one of everything from my store, because of course I do. Because again, I'm not stupid. And whatever I have here, you can't just buy it at the store, because our products change all the time. They're bought from actual people that I could actually put you in touch with if you have a translator, for some of them. So you know they're real, and they are, if it's not a rescue, it's a woman-owned company. I work with a woman-owned company and salt lamps and things so well. out of Pakistan. We work with Soapstone Small Art is a 5 woman-owned company in Kenya, and they do fantastic. We carry a lot of Small Art soapstone. Definitely go look at that. The Sweet Shopping Group is beesfeedus.com, lovemygender.com, thosenastywomen.com, sweetsurvivor.com, and my biggest baby right now, supaplanet.com, which my husband helped me with, because I was like, Supaplanet, that'd be a great what's the acronym? And he goes, stop using plastic, am I right? And I'm like, oh my God, that's it. So Supaplanet is going to be the next big venture for me. Anyway, so this one, the Bar None necklace in communities where government, same, it's Tara again. So one more time, first come, first serve. All of these pieces of jewelry, I am going to photograph and I will shoot it to you, and you pick the one you want if it's still there. The first, how many pieces did I get? I didn't count. 1, 2, 3. I just started grabbing because we need to get the subscription off the ground. That's the keychain. Those are the Bar None necklace. These are the skyscraper earrings and the Jungle Queen necklace, which looks really cool on because those fan out, you know. And the spun web earrings and the glass tiara necklace. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. First 6 subscribers, I will shoot you what's left and you pick. That being said, it's time to reprocess those memories, and it's not so hard to do. It took me such a short time to make real manageable progress with my CPTSD. Once I A, figured out I had it, B, figured out what the implications of that were and the neuroscience of it to deal with, and C, did something about it. Did something different that worked. So I want that for you. Subscribe. I'm going to be coming on TikTok a lot because there's a competition that I will not win, but I'm definitely going to utilize the time to try to get some more traffic. I will talk to you soon. Oh, also subscribers earn us like 10,000 points, an insane amount of points. And again, they actually like give you subscribers if you get to a certain level, and we've got to get to 10,000. Right now we're pushing 3,000. So if you wouldn't mind, not subscribing. This TikTok. We need you to like TikTok and you Restream. I know I talk to TikTok because this is the one I actually use. So pardon that I'm always looking over there, but we can add TikTok to Restream with 10,000. So let's get there. And who wants most jewelry? Subscribe. sweetsurvivor.com. I'll drop it in the comments shortly here. I'm going to go, and I will talk to you next week without roots. I'm almost always have roots though, because my hair grows so fast, and I just can't go gray yet. I just can't do it yet. I don't want to. End.